Welcome back to POV Italian Cooking, where you see cooking from my point of view. Today I am making one of my most absolute favorite dishes to both cook and eat. Been saving this one for a while, but today we are going to make Chicken Cacciatore. I really love this dish because it's so good over pasta, polenta. The chicken just, oh my gosh, the chicken is just incredible. And while it's cooking, it smells incredible and just infuses the whole house. I make it with both pasta and polenta. The kids like it over pasta. I like it over polenta. Anyway, I've talked enough. Let's take a look at the ingredients and get this wonderful dish on the stove.
So let's take a look at our ingredients. Of course, we have the holy trinity for the Italian sofrito. We're going to use probably 2 carrots. We're going to use about a stalk and a half of celery, red onion, garlic, basil, bay leaves. We are going to use some anchovy fillets today. Of course, this recipe does call for some Chianti. Of course, olive oil goes in everything. We also use our peeled tomatoes or canned peeled tomatoes in darn near every recipe. Now, traditionally this recipe is made with black olives. I don't have any. I have green olives, so we're going to slice up some of those. Salt, pepper, and we're going to put this over a bed of pasta. Today's pasta I have is an artisanal pasta, Foodie Giganti, and I know I didn't pronounce that right. Of course, the first ingredient is going to be chicken. Now, you can use bone-in chicken, you can use boneless chicken. Today I'm using chicken tenders, chicken breast tenders. I like these because they brown quick. They really, when you simmer them in the sauce, it really soaks the flavor in clear through. That's why I kind of chose these. They're quick. I'm going to break away and get everything ready. So our prep is done. What we've done is we've minced up our garlic. We've chopped up our carrots and our celery and of course our onion, sliced our olives, and I took our chicken tenders, and they've got this weird little tendon on the end, and I've went ahead and trimmed that off. Now the next step is to brown our chicken really quick. We want to brown it in the pan that we will be preparing the cacciatore in, so it captures all that flavor. So let's get over to our stove and get to browning this chicken. I've relocated over to the stove. I've got some olive oil in our pan here. I'm using my little Dutch oven today. Got our olive oil heating up. So then all we're going to do is brown our chicken real quick on each side. Now we just want to hot pan, get it brown and get it out. Don't want to put the chicken too close together or it will not brown. We're going to do this in batches. Been working on our chicken. Some of it is golden brown, ready to go. We're just going to continue this process until all of our chicken has been browned. You'll see there are some bits sticking in the bottom of the pan, and that's all right because we're going to deglaze here shortly. But anyway, just keep browning it. You don't want to cook it clear through. That's not the intent. It's just to get it brown. I'm going to keep doing this. We'll be back here shortly. Now, I'm going to throw this up in my microwave, really just to kind of keep it a little bit warm. Now, the next thing we're going to do, we're going to add a little bit more olive oil to our pan. You can see here we got a lot of crunchies and crusties and whatnot that are still here in our pan. What we are going to do first, we are going to add 3 or 4 steaks of sardine in. Now, a lot of folks do not like sardines. They think, ooh, nasty, nasty. I don't want sardines in anything I eat. Trust me, these really round out the flavor. Without sardines, this dish is not the same. There's no overpowering taste from the sardines. It just really provides a nice little briny flavor. We'll go ahead and put our garlic in. I haven't even turned the heat back on. But what will happen to these anchovy steaks is really they just melt into the olive oil. Put a little more olive oil here in our pan. Now all those little bits of chicken on the bottom of the pan, once we deglaze, they'll come right off the bottom, and they add a little flavor as well. One of these days I have to even up this burner. As you can see, it's a little unlevel. You see the sardines are really melting away to nothing. Now I'm going to go ahead and turn my heat back on, turn it about half away. Really starting to smell the fragrance from the garlic and the sardines. So when you have that, you're starting to smell those fragrances. You're going to add your onion. Going to add our carrots and celery. You know, thinking back now to the chicken, I did forget to say that you're supposed to salt and pepper your chicken. That's really important before you brown it. Salt and pepper it, which I did due to those little tenderloins. Now what we're going to do here is we're going to cook these onions and carrots and celery and garlic and now the sardines. I'm going to add some more olive oil. I'm going to let these cook for about 10 minutes because I want these to start to soften and get brown. Alright, I'm cooking my sofrito. It's only been a couple minutes, but I had to come back because there's just nothing better than the smell of a sofrito cooking. You can see here now the bits of chicken are starting to come off of the bottom of the pan a little bit, just really from being, you know, stirring around in the vegetables and whatnot. But man, just take the time when you're cooking this to put your nose over this sofrito while it's cooking and just enjoy that smell. It's absolutely incredible. I have been cooking the sofrito now for about 10 minutes, which is about perfect. Next thing we're going to do is add about a cup of Chianti. Use a good Chianti. Might be a little more than a cup, but I love the taste that Chianti adds to any of the, you know, the sauce-based foods that I cooked. So a little is great, but more is better in this case. So we're going to let this cook now until the smell of the alcohol boils off. The smell of the alcohol is pretty much gone. Now what we are going to do is add our tomatoes. You can puree these to make it easy. I'm just going to hand crush them here as I pour them in because I like a little bit of chunk in my sauce. I have done this with and pureed them in my blender, but I just like this way a little better. Besides, you know, I like to get my hands dirty when I cook. No fun if you don't get your hands dirty. So I'm going to go ahead and finish squeezing these bad boys out. We'll be back. I've crushed the tomatoes and poured in all the sauce. I did decide to add a second can of tomatoes just because I have a lot of chicken. I had a lot of sofrito in there. So you know, you can always kind of adjust as you go. Now you'll see here I kind of left the tomatoes a little bit chunky because that's the way I like them, but they're going to cook down. Now next thing we do, add 4 or 5 bay leaves. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll get them down in our sauce. Don't forget, when you cook with bay leaves, you got to get them out. So our sauce is pretty much ready. We've got it seasoned. Let's put a little bit of salt and pepper in. Salt, heavy on the salt, heavy on the pepper. And next thing we get to do is add our chicken back in. So, take our chicken. No reason to be neat about it. Dump that chicken back in there. Kind of stir it up to get it all separated. And now we let it simmer. Now I am going to, you know, wait till I start to see it kind of boil. I'm going to lower the temperature way down on a simmer. And we just let this cook. Let it cook for 45 minutes at least, at a minimum. That will get that tinny taste out of the canned tomatoes, and it will allow that flavor to get clear to the middle of those chicken tenders. So we will be back in 45 minutes.
One item we forgot when we were going over our ingredients here to talk about and to get in this dish was our olives. So I took our olives, sliced them up. It would be best with black olives. I had green olives, so that's what we're going to use today. But anyway, get them in the pot and stir them in and let everything simmer.
It has been about 45 minutes. You can see that our chicken cacciatore has thickened up a little bit. I did add a little bit of tomato paste. I have a tube of tomato paste and just put a little bit in here to kind of maybe get it to thicken up as well. I've got my water back here for my pasta heating up. Really important that you salt your water. I believe it's Mario Batali who says that you want your water the salinity of the ocean because it helps with the flavor of the pasta. I do have a little bit of polenta going on the back. My love affair with polenta continues. So I'm getting ready to drop this pasta. This pasta is about 12 to 15 minutes and it should be done. Then we're going to get this plated and we're going to give it a shot. Now, back to our chicken cacciatore. I did taste it, put a little salt and pepper in there. 20 minutes ago or so, I added some basil. It's tasting really, really good. I'm going to turn it down a little bit more. Let's give it one more quick taste. Wow, that's perfect. It's really, really darn good. So when we come back, I'll have this plated and we'll do a tasting. I have our chicken cacciatore plated. Now I've plated it with pasta and with polenta. I'm going to take a bite of this one here, plated with the pasta, just to see how she turned out. Oh my gosh.
It's good.
A little bit of brininess, of course, from the anchovies and from these wonderful green olives. The flavor is clear through that chicken and it's really tender and chewy. The sauce is outstanding. Outstanding again are our seasonings with salt and pepper, basil, and bay leaves. So this is great. Now my boys love the chicken. I always make a ton of it because we reheat it for a few days. Chicken's even good on a sandwich. The polenta. Oh, wow, that sauce pairs really well with polenta. It's incredible. So again, chicken cacciatore, easy to make, doesn't take a ton of time. Again, thank you guys for watching POV Italian Cooking. Follow us on Facebook and on Twitter, on Instagram. But most importantly, let's click that subscribe button. Again, thanks for watching, and ciao!